Hi, my name is Erickson Nealens. I am the neuroscience specialist here for APA Solutions. And today I'm going to be taking you through one particular mission here, which is really looking at some of the changes that we're now are finding in the workplace. First, I want to thank you for taking the time to really invest in yourself, hence the You Inc. model that we really want to have you embrace. And as you can imagine, the name You Inc. investing in you, you can start to see what we're kind of doing here, right? But we really want to flip the equation and try to give you the tips and tricks to help you to be able to be at your best in whatever job or whatever industry you find yourself going into. So here with the changing in the workplace, specifically what we want to identify is some of the changes that we are now finding with the generational differences. This is a really remarkable time in terms of the workforce. We're finding that so many different generations are concurrently working at the same time. So we can see all the way back to the baby boomers working that with millennials, and even now the integration of the post-millennials is having a really great value to the workplace. All these different perspectives all being done at the same time. But these are 5 different tricks and tips that we want to provide to you to be able to help that integration as best as possible when you're now are looking for your employment. The first thing is that you're going to naturally find that there are differences in terms of these generations when it comes to things such as technological abilities or work ethic or all these different elements to it. But the biggest thing here is do not dwell on these differences. Physiologically, we're going to find that the brain is going to have maybe a challenge when someone is oppositional or coming from a different place. So we really want you to be on your best game and off with the right foot. So that this way you can really start working together well with those within the workplace. So although you are going to identify these differences, try not to dwell on those. And instead, here really our second point is within those differences, how can you foster a more collaborative type of environment? There are things that you are not going to know right there on the job that very first day. And so how can you see this as an opportunity to reach out to those who are in that position, who may have been there before, who have that experience, to really help you come up with a plan about how to tackle that particular project. So how can you then work collaboratively on these things? Second, or the third thing here is really going to then be to really get a sense of those fellow coworkers. What are things that they like? What are habits that they tend to do? Really picking up on this social awareness part. What are things that they tend to like? What are things that they do each day? Really start to study those coworkers as best as possible. Fourth thing, really create an opportunity to work across these different generations. There are behaviors and events and training that each one of these generations has had. Where we see the greatest opportunity and benefit is when we have this cross-generational collaboration. So it really goes back to our second point here. The more that these generations can work together, the greater the type of productivity that we tend to see. More innovativeness tends to happen, more creativity tends to happen as well. And last but not least, really see this as an opportunity to help empower you to figure out where are all these different life paths going. Use the resources that are available in front of you. Utilize those people who are there from these different generations and learn from their experiences, because those experiences will hopefully help you create the best path as you go forward. So we look forward to seeing how you can use these big 5 tips as you then start to work towards your career. Thanks.